Hello and greetings everyone. My name is Steve. Welcome Bull Runners. Welcome to the Bull Runners community. I hope everybody's having a wonderful day today. In this video today, I want to touch base on the USDC situation as it is all over social media. You see people holding their hands, a lot of panic, fear happening. Everybody's talking about it. And it's time to just look at the whole perspective, look at it in a rational way, and let's look at this together. In this video, I'm just going to touch base on what's really happened and what the situation is currently and where we're headed. Let's start with at CoinMarketCap. Right now, USDC depegged all the way to 87 cents. It bounced back up now to 91 cents. Why did this happen? In case you don't know, what happened is one of the largest and oldest banks in California was closed down by the regulators. It's the Silicon Valley Bank, which is the largest failure since the 2008 crisis. There are billions of dollars that have been stranded, and these are institutional funds, big companies that were banking with them. USDC actually confirmed that they were holding 3.3 billion of their reserve assets at the Silicon Valley Bank. This caused a bank run, and as we know, banks only have fractional reserves, meaning that they're not required by the regulators to hold an equivalent amount of funds to back the assets that they claim to have at the bank one-to-one. This, of course, is a banking issue now that causes bank run, meaning that once people experience a lot of fear, a lot of anxiety, panic, they run and want to get their funds out. And because the banks only have fractionalized reserve, so once they start withdrawing, obviously it caused the depegging. And also it's a weekend, it's a Saturday. The banks don't operate during the weekend. A lot of exchanges temporarily paused withdrawals of USDC to USD. Coinbase did that, Crypto.com did that as well. Even Binance took measures in that regard. The exposure that USDC has is 3.3 billion. And this is not Terra Luna, where there was no one-to-one backing at all for the stablecoin. This is not an algorithmic stablecoin. This is a one-to-one backed stablecoin that is regulated. Because of this situation with the bank exposure, caused a lot of fear and panic, and a lot of sell-offs happened. As you can see, actually it was at 43 billion, and now 6 billion roughly is already taken out. And you also see that the volume has been really high, so you see that a lot of USDC trades are happening right now. And if you look at the market at large, you can tell that a lot of USDC is being swapped for Ethereum or Bitcoin right now, or any other crypto asset right now, as a lot of halts have been made. So for me, to put this in perspective, USDC has reserves in the form of US Treasury bills, and their cash reserves at hand, which is 3.3 billion, has exposure at the Silicon Valley Bank, which was closed by the SEC and handed over to the FDIC to take over. Now, this crisis just exposes the banking, how the banking system, the financial system is being run, because in crypto, the stable coins are required to be backed one-to-one, whereas the banks, they are only required to have 3% of fractional reserves of 3%. So when a bank run happens, such as the one that just happened now with the Silicon Valley Bank being closed and shut down, the depeg happened. Now keep in mind, USDC is covered one-to-one by US Treasury bills, and this cash exposure is a large amount. Yes, it is. However, based on the beginning of its market cap at 43 billion, it was roughly 8% of the total backing that it has exposure at the Silicon Valley Bank. So this issue is only if 100% of all these holders run to the bank and want to withdraw their USDC at the same time. I believe that USDC will be able to recover again and repeg, and the whole situation will be a learning lesson. So that's in a nutshell what's happening in the market right now with USDC stablecoin. I just wanted to point that out and just bring some understanding and clarity of the situation. USDC stablecoin is not just the second largest stablecoin, but it's backed by BlackRock, it's backed by Coinbase itself, and it's also backed by Circle, which is the company directly backing the USDC stablecoin. It is a regulated company in the US, and I believe they'll get the situation taken care of. And the best point is that the 3.3 billion, which is roughly 8% exposure at the Silicon Valley Bank, is the exposure that caused a lot of havoc, a lot of fear and panic, and the bank run. The rest of the reserves are there. They're illiquid as they're in treasury bills, but once they'll be able to liquidate them, they'll be able to repeg again over time, and the situation will be taken care of. This is not the same situation as Terra Luna, where there was no safety net at all whatsoever. There are funds available here to be able to repeg again. And that's the video for today, community. I just wanted to make sure that I clarified that, point that out, and just paint that large picture, and not just create more panic into the community. Of course, this is something major, as USDC is the second largest stablecoin and the poster child in the US, actually, as it is based in the US, registered company in the US, and that's why it's a big deal. The exposure is roughly 8%, which is 3.3 billion from the total market cap of 43 billion. It's a bank situation where the banks don't hold enough cash reserves for those who want to withdraw their funds. It causes a bank run. So that's the situation right now. Thank you for remaining level-headed and calm in this situation, and we'll get through this together. It's another bump in the road in the crypto space, but this one is strictly caused by the banks in the real world. Thank you very much, everyone. I wish you a wonderful start in your weekend, depending on where you're from in the world, and as always, let's keep in touch.